Yeah, so hello. I want to talk to you about teaching and teaching what kind of people? Yeah, as you can guess from this diverse bunch of people here, programmers. And I don't want to teach the next Zuckerberg. I want programmers to look like this, a bit more at least. And I can't go too much into how you produce better diversity. There's fantastic talks about that, but I can tell you a bit about learning and teaching and how the community is built around that. So when it comes to programming and learning it, it's all about bridging that gap between understanding a concept and be actually able to realize it. That gap between the people who have the tech knowledge and those who don't have it. And you can you can close a lot of that gap in a one-day event where you just bring those people together and guide them through the first steps of creating a bit of software that actually does something. And RailsBridge and RailsGirls, they really excelled with that, and a lot of others came and took that concept of a one-day event, like Django Girls, Closure Bridge, and I'm involved with Open TechSchool and CSS classes where we do a lot of those one-day workshops. Ask me about it afterwards. There's a lot more than those. So at those events, people come and they learn at their own pace with workshop materials that they have on their computers. And on their computers, they create hands-on a bit of software. And coaches are there to help and unblock them. So you need some learners, which might seem very easy to get them, but sometimes it's a bit hard depending on where you are. So you have to work to get good learners. And for coaches, it's not that hard if you can tap into existing communities. Most of them will help. As well with space, they will help as well, a lot of them. Or companies might give you their spaces for free. You can create materials, but that is a lot of work. But the beauty is you can reuse those materials globally if you share them. So this is a quote from the Open TechSchool teaching guidelines. Assume everyone you're coaching has zero knowledge but infinite intelligence, and that's how you should always approach your learners. Because it's hard. Like there's that fantastic text by Kelsey Breseman about how learning to program is a lot like learning construction. You don't start by building a house, you start by building boxes, and you don't know all those tools, like why are there 10 hammers, what are they for? You have no clue when you start. So you build box after box after box, and then you feel a bit more comfortable and start appreciating what the tools are for. It's not just a switch you can turn on. So programming is like that. You don't just switch and get it. So we realized there's a lot of people who came back to the same events. So we were like, so we need to create something new, something maybe weekly or bi-weekly. So we came up with co-learning, where we just said, okay, people come, we pick a topic, and we ask them, what do you want to achieve tonight? And we really force everyone to answer, which isn't working for everyone that well. But people automatically pair up and teach each other. So sometimes we felt like we don't even need to be there, because everyone learns and everyone teaches each other. And you don't need materials or an agenda, so it's something you can actually sustain when you want to do it on a weekly basis. So you just need a space where everyone gathers and teaches each other. So you need those learners, and they come and go, and some of them keep sticking around and maybe help you organizing and help you coach, because they coach each other. And you really need that, because you need, like weekly event, you need a rotation and some coaches who can help you run that. So learners become organizers and coaches, and you might lose them as well. Like we had a learner who became a coach and then moved to another country because she got a job there. So this brings me to my last concept. She Codes, a former colleague of mine, started that. He wanted to build a learning platform to get more women into programming. So he started doing materials to get to that, and started focus groups in his kitchen where he taught those materials. And when they were through with those first materials, they were like, oh, what now? So he continued coaching, and then he came up with a new concept how to sustain that. He said, okay, when you're ready for a job, I coach you for free until then, but then you continue learning with me, and your employer will pay for it. And it took him 2 years, but now he got there, and 3 of his learners are now in jobs, and 2 of those continue learning with him, and the employer pays, and for one of them he got a referral fee. So it's actually possible to do that in a sustainable way, and I found that very inspiring to see that he took his privilege and invested the time to get those women there. So thank you. Let that be an inspiration.